Hello friends, in this video I will talk about what is data lake and what are its characteristics. So basically if I have to explain this in one line, then I would say that data lake is a central repository and data processing system for very large amount of data. In fact, data lake do much more than just storing and processing of the data. Actually, for any system to be called as data lake, first it must be able to ingest the data from any input data source, and that too with any speed. It should be able to ingest the data from both batch input data source or real-time input data sources like mobile device or IoT devices. After ingesting this data, it must be able to store this data, and this input data could be in any format like structured data from RDBMS table or semi-structured data like JSON or non-structured data like image or a video file. Data lake must be able to store any kind of data, and this data could be of any size. Generally, this data size is in many terabytes or in petabytes. So, data storage in data lake must be highly scalable. Since we store the raw data in data lake, so this data definitely requires some kind of processing to make it more meaningful. So data lake must also provide the capability to process this large amount of data. And there are various open source MapReduce based tools like Spark Engine or Apache Beam, which are generally used for this kind of data processing. And there is one more important functionality of data lake, that is to provide the data governance. It means providing the features like data security, data masking, and ensuring data integrity, etc. In data lake, security should be implemented in every layer of data lake, from data storage to data consumption. Data security is very important to stop the access for unauthorized users. Data lake should support the different tools to access the data, and these tools should be easy to navigate. A data lake should also be capable to provide the data auditing and data lineage features as well. Data auditing means tracking the changes to the important dataset elements, and data lake should capture how, when, and who made the changes to these data elements. Data lineage means tracking how data has moved over the period of time from data origin to current state of data. It helps in correcting the data processing pipeline in case of any kind of error. Data lake should also provide the tools to analyze this processed data so that business team can get some meaningful information from this processed data. And all these different components of the data lake should work together to build an effective data lake solution. In many aspects, data lake looks very much similar to a data warehouse, but these are different from each other and used for different purpose. In fact, I would say that data lake is actually complementary to data warehouse. We normally prefer to use data warehouse for some kind of repeated reporting requirement like quarterly revenue report or finding the sales figure for each region at the month end. Also, data warehouse generally deals with the structured data for the business processes, while data lake can handle both structured or unstructured data. A data warehouse is actually a database optimized to analyze the structured data that comes from the transactional system. In case of data warehouse, the data structure and the schema of the data is already defined so that you can run your SQL queries faster. And the result of such SQL queries is actually used for the reporting and analysis purpose. In case of data warehouse, data is cleaned, enriched, and transformed so that data warehouse can act as a single source of truth. Data warehouse also provides the better data access control as compared to data lake. Actually, in case of data warehouse, we define the schema at the time of data write operation. But in case of data lake, schema is not defined at the time of data write operation, but it is defined at the time of data read. This means while storing the data in data lake, you do not need to know about what questions you might need to answer in the future. Different type of analytics on your data like SQL queries, big data analytics, full text search, real-time analytics, and machine learning. All these things can be used to discover the data later on. Data lake is generally used by both data scientists and the business team. But on the other hand, data warehousing solution is majorly used by the business team to get the more insight about the data, which can help them in taking the business decision. Data lake is more agile and provides lots of configuration in terms of storing and processing of data as compared to data warehouse. Data lake provides the cheap data storage as compared to data warehouse. But data warehousing solution is mainly targeted for the faster data analysis. Data lake supports the data ingestion from variety of sources at variety of speed. But in case of data warehouse, it is really very difficult to ingest the frequently changing data. We generally do the bulk insert in case of data warehouse. With data lake, generally open source tools like MapReduce is used to process the data. But data warehouse is generally a proprietary commercial tool to store and process your data. So friends, this is all about the introduction part of data lake. In my next video, I will go more deeper into this topic. So if you like my video, please like, subscribe and share this video.